Belinda Sunshine. Join me in When We Were Young. Yeah, today I've got someone very special. I won't tell you who he is, but do you know he is a director of music, he's a composer, he's an entertainer, and he sings very well. But I'm not telling. Watch out, and you'll find the answer in just a while. Ooh.
Hi, I'm Danny Koh. I'm in this business performing as a pianist and a vocalist for more than 45 years.
Danny Koh, the only son of a Peranakan family, got into music through his father, David. David Koh was an accountant, but in the 1950s, he played the saxophone part-time with an orchestra. Danny picks up the harmonica and the guitar as a child. His father, David, later encourages him to learn to play the piano. At the age of 12, Danny took piano lessons and eventually graduated with a licentiate of the Royal Schools of Music, LRSM, diploma. Danny worked as a teacher for 2 to 3 years before he was approached to join a band. He then began to juggle 2 jobs, as a teacher by day and a musician by night. And as he gained experience, Danny started working as a performance artist for Rediffusion Radio and Radio and Television Singapore. In 1978, he leveled up to become chief judge for the popular Talentime series. At his peak, Danny went on to record 6 novelty albums covering a wide spectrum of music, cutting across languages and genres. English, Mandarin, pop, ballads, and even jazz. Danny did it all. He was also a mainstay for headlining performances as a pianist with the Singapore Broadcasting Corporation Orchestra, backing star performers. In 1981, he represented the nation in the first ever ASEAN Popular Song Festival with other artists in the region. He was also a music ambassador for the Singapore Tourism Board in Korea and Australia. Danny took his talents onto the seas, serving as a music director on 5 different cruise ships over the next 6 years. As a professional entertainer, Danny would take the stage in multiple countries like Sweden, Italy, Greece, and more. Today, Danny is working on a retrospective of his works, covering his 5 decades of experience in show business. And to keep the music alive in the next generation, Danny teaches at Yamaha Singapore. And today, we have the opportunity to feature him on our show. You've already seen the video, and I'm sure you must be waiting to know who he is. Yes, he's one man who really wears so many hats. So put your hands together and welcome the one and only Danny Koh.
Hi, Belinda.
Hi, it's so great to have you in the studio with me, Danny. It's been such a long time since we really had a chat together to ask about what you've been doing all these years, And I know too that you are so passionate about music.
Always.
Yes, but tell me, you started off as a school teacher.
Yeah, I was teaching in school for a couple of years.
Okay, but why did you pursue this, path of becoming a musician and a singer and entertainer?
Actually, being a school teacher years back, the salary is so small. So when I was offered a good job, I think at the Goodwood Park Hotel, well, the salary was 3-4 times more than the teacher's salary.
The teacher does. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so I took 2 jobs.
Teaching, you were moonlighting.
Moonlighting.
Okay,
exactly.
and?
Then that started my music career. Because I was a qualified pianist, classical pianist, So it's more opportunity to perform, because I can read and I sing, and so it's solves a
Okay.
lot of things.
Yeah. Now, speaking of music, what kind of music were you listening to when you were much younger?
Well, pop music. So we
Okay.
started there.
Do
Pop.
you have any
But,
favorites?
well, many. Depends on my mood, Musicians
Okay.
are very emotional, temperamental people. So,
Okay.
depends on your mood. Yeah.
One very special, perhaps?
One special song for me is actually Alfie.
What's it all about?
And that song,
Okay.
the lyrics are so fantastic because my character is actually based on that song, Alfie.
Why do you say so?
Well, after you to find out, listen to the music and listen to the lyrics, and you find out.
Do you hear that?
Alfie.
Watch out. Find out who he really is. The mystery man. Okay, now, you actually perform solo most of the time, but you also have your own band.
Yeah.
So between the two, actually, which one is more challenging for you? I mean, or which one would you prefer most?
Well, years ago, playing with a band is fun. I work with several bands, like the Trailers, and then I have my own group, the Candidates, the Fishmen, at the Kelong restaurant. But now with the COVID and everything, and things are different. So I prefer to work alone or with a female singer, because now everybody is so cautious about opening up the hotels. I work in the Shangri-La for more than 12 years or so as a lounge pianist with a band. But since the COVID started 3 years ago, and that's it, no more entertainment. And so everybody has got to find ways and means where to work, But now it's opening up. But even that, events and all this, they're very cautious. They don't want to spend too much
True.
money. So on the safer side, I work with a singer and maybe a saxophonist or guitarist. It's easier this way. The lesser the people, the more jobs you get. Yeah.
I know that, one of the best part of your musical career is actually when you were on board this cruise ship,
Oh, yeah.
on the cruise, and you were with them for almost like 6 years.
Oh yes, I work
Yeah.
in many different cruise ships. It's should I say a cheap way to travel. You get paid, and then you travel to. I think I've been around the world. I've been I've been to Pacific, Atlantic, Caribbean, South Pacific. I've been to all the beautiful places, and I was a music director. So I get to select my groups. But most of them are foreign groups. I worked with a local group before, but then sad to say, a lot of the Singaporeans, they get homesick when they work on a cruise ship. After 3 months, they miss their wife, they miss their
They want
family.
to go home.
They want to go home. And I said, you can't go home because you signed a contract for 1 year. So
And what about you? Do you
no,
feel
I
homesick?
wasn't married then. at
Oh,
the
you're
time,
not married then.
So it's get a chance to travel around. So the best time to travel is when you're not attached.
Okay.
You can see places.
True. I wish I was with you at that time. Then we can enjoy and see the world.
Yeah, together.
Yes, together. But I hear too that you're on this Loveboat, and that's where you met your other half.
Oh yes, and but that's what they say. When you work on a love boat, it's just, love is only temporary on the ship, and then when you get attached, and then things change.
Oh, what a shame, isn't it? All right, now getting back to your albums, you have recorded more than 6 albums.
Yeah.
Okay, but you've been using different languages and genre.
Oh yeah.
What actually inspired you to do that?
Well, actually, when I recorded the English music, English lyrics to famous Mandarin songs, it's actually a novelty. Because we did a lot of sales overseas, because a lot of people, they like Mandarin songs, they like to listen to Mandarin songs, but they don't speak Mandarin. They like the melody of the songs. So we put lyrics there, and my lyricist actually is Eric Tan, and he's actually a bassist from the Trailers before. He just recovered from COVID after 5 months. After 5 months, can you imagine? And then he recovered. So he's a very good lyricist. And,
Do you still work together with him now?
oh yes, yeah, we're doing some songs together. Maybe my own compositions, And,
Okay. So it means that you are going to churn out more albums, am I right?
yeah, after a long while, because I teach music,
Okay.
in the Yamaha school and all that. So it takes a lot of my time.
Uh-huh. Okay. But no, talking about composition and writing your own songs, what is the challenge do you find in that? What is the inspiration behind that, when you are writing something or composing something?
Well, actually, there's a story. The lyrics of the song will tell a story.
Okay.
Even like country music, and a lot of country music, they got a lot of verses. If we look at all the lyrics, it's a story. And I'm a romantist, and I love stories. So if I write a song, it has got to do with stories, love stories, and all that. And of course, that's my forte. I mean, you don't expect me to write a rock song because those are the days. Now it's more sentimental love stories. You hold my hand, I love you, you love me, and all this.
Okay, all that lovey-dovey thingy, right?
Yeah.
Danny, now if I were to ask you also this question, if you're going to look back all these years that you have been in showbiz, what has been your biggest achievement so far?
Well, the biggest achievement is actually I was offered to work overseas a lot of times in hotels. I work in Sweden, Norway, Denmark. The money is good. Money is very good and then every night you get tips overseas. The tips can range to 50, 60 US a night.
Wow.
You just put the money down. You work in the piano bar. You sing for them. Yeah. But the hours are long. You're talking about maybe 4 to 5 sets a night. And in Sweden, I work. You start from 9, you finish at 2. But that's part of life. But the unfortunate thing is, you become addicted to drinks because people buy you drinks every night.
Okay.
And sometimes you get lining up 6, 7 glasses of wine or whiskey.
But you don't have to finish them all.
I know, but then sometimes they insist, hey, come, cheers. So sometimes you get pretty high after the night. So that's the minus part. But then I was smart enough because after a couple of weeks, I make friends with the barman. I say, instead of pouring whiskey, just pour Chinese tea.
That's a very good way.
So I cheers with them with Chinese tea, but they don't know it's tea and not whiskey.
That's a cool idea. Hear that. In case you're made to drink tea instead. I'm going to do that too. Danny, the music business, whether it's in Singapore or overseas, is not an easy one. You will have your ups and downs.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm sure also, you may have your heydays, and the performance those days are very different compared to today. So I'm sure you must have found a difference between the two.
Oh, yes. But the thing is, when I work overseas, there's more appreciative crowd. It's sad to say. The Singaporeans, they appreciate, but they don't express. And I get paid by applause. I don't care about the money in business. But the thing is, if you're not applauding, I don't feel good. And I always look at their reaction, look at their eyes and how they react. If they smile at me, that means I know they like my music. But they just don't clap. So sometimes they raise a glass. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough for me because I know they're listening. But they don't express it. Like
you are very right. Yeah. Singaporeans, majority of them are
conservative
not really,
they don't
not
express
expressive,
Not expressive.
They're very conservative, but I'm sure they really appreciate it deep down.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people, it's just like when they see you on air, they say, oh, I enjoyed the program very much. Do you? Yes, I'm sure you do. But they will not write in and give a comment, say, oh, that show was fantastic. You did very well. Sometimes I wish they would do that.
Yeah. The comments you get is mostly from the foreigners. I work in a hotel. Only the foreigners will come and they buy you a drink, they wish you, they clap hands, and that makes you feel good.
Yes.
I mean, it's not the money. It's how when you express how you like my music. Then I feel good. Then I want to play more. I play extra time. You give me 45 minutes, I can play 1 hour or 1.5 hours without stopping. They're enjoying it, you know. And then they write comments, they give to the GM of the hotel. Then it make you feel good. And if I think you saw my resume, is this thick?
Yes,
It's
I
all a lot of commendations from guests, hotel managers, and all those things. You know.
So, as a veteran, what advice would you give people who would like to go into the music scene, young people especially?
Well, it's hard to say because why? The young people they have their own stuff. They have their own stuff. They have their own clientele. They have their own crowd, right? The young people will attract the young crowd, right? My time is halfway through. The thing is, I play for people like you, those who like to listen to the old 60s, 70s, 80s, yeah. But when I go for an event, and they requested, I asked them what kind of music you want. They say, oh, I like the new kind, the new stuff. Yeah, I get a young singer. I don't get singers who are around, not the age group, no. I get a girl like the young ones, you know. Then I ask them, I do a survey, I say, what kind of music do you like to listen to? So I told the singer, these are the songs which they want to listen. Or else I won't take that gig. I won't take the gig. Because why? Why should I make a fool of myself? You know, I play the oldies, they won't like it.
Cool.
You play
So
jazz, they don't like jazz.
Yeah,
they
you
want
keep
pop.
up with the times.
Yeah, keep
which
up
is
with the
really
times.
good. Okay.
That's how I survive, you know. I've been in this business for what? 55 years, man. 58 years maybe.
Okay. So now going forward, you know, what are your plans?
No, I love to work. I enjoy because that's my passion. I like to sing. I like to serenade. I like to look at the couples and see the girls with the tear in their eyes, you know, when they play the favorite song. They're holding hands. What's your favorite song when you get married? When you're married, what's your favorite song? I ask them this question.
Yeah, that's
What's
fantastic.
that song?
Yeah.
I said, it's all right.
Oh.
And my repertoire of songs in my mind is more than 850 songs.
Oh, wow.
I can just play it just offhand and play for you. I'm not talking about the modern songs during our era. And I always say, I challenge any pianist who can play. If I request you to play 10 songs, you can play the 10 songs. I say you can beat me for that. Pick any songs, I'll play for you. That's why I work in the hotel. I'm a lounge pianist, you know. I sing for them. Any song, English songs, Chinese songs maybe limited because I'm not Chinese educated, right? But the popular ones, you know, like Chisa Teng or English songs, 70s, 60s. I'll do that.
Good. You see, that's Danny Koh for you, you know. He's one person who you can never say he can't do it. He will always be there for you. Now, talking about music, would you like to play something for us right now?
Yes, I do.
Well, what are you going to have?
Well, since I'm known as the Loveboat man because I've been playing on the cruise ships, you know.
Okay.
Many cruise ships.
Yeah, we're going to listen to your Loveboat
Hope you enjoyed it.
Right? Yes, come. Let's welcome him at the keyboard right now. He's all yours.
Excited and new, come aboard. We're expecting you, oh love. Love's sweetest reward, let it float. It floats back to you, the love boat. Soon we'll be making another run. The love boat promises something for everyone. A cause for adventure, your mind on a new romance. Love won't hurt anymore. It's an open smile on a friendly shore. It's love. industry war, let it float. It floats back to you, the love boat. Soon we'll be making another round. The love boat promises something for everyone. A cause for adventure, the mind on the new romance. Love won't hurt anymore. It's an open smile on a friendly shore. It's love, it's love, it's the love boat, it's the love boat, it's the love boat.
That was really awesome, Danny. I love it. You
Hi,
are
Belinda.
really fantastic.
You
know.
always look gorgeous.
Yeah, I wish I could be on the Love Boat with you, correct? Don't you want me to be with you on the Love Boat? Yes,
Together?
why not?
Why not?
Well, that was a beautiful musical interlude from the one and only Danny Koh. And if you really enjoyed our program when we were young, make sure you just subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, if you like it very much, drop some comments below. And so, on behalf of my good friend Danny Koh here, this is Belinda Sunshine.
Hi there, and see you again.
Yeah, you're right. We love you.